a warm welcome to breast cancer survivor, Kelly McNamara.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. On this cold and windy October morning, I want to thank you for making the Run for the Cure your priority today. We all are here for our own unique reasons. We know the statistics. 1 in 9 Canadian women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. In September 2011, I became one of those statistics.
Today, I would like to share with you 3 lessons from my cancer experience. The first is that mammograms are very important. The second is that perseverance is essential. And the third is that the best way to feel less helpless is simply to help. Let me begin with mammograms. I was lucky to have had a proactive doctor who believed in women having a baseline mammogram before the age of 40. And so I had been having routine mammograms every other year from the age of 35. It was during one of those routine mammograms that they noticed an unusual area of calcification. And so I was recalled for another mammogram, an ultrasound, and a biopsy. And while those mammograms were particularly stressful, they were what began me on my road to recovery. Of course, the road ahead was filled with many more scans, biopsies, MRIs, blood tests, stress, anxiety, and tears. It's true what people say about a cancer diagnosis. It stops you in your tracks. Emotions run wild. How could this be happening? My son was only 11. What would I have to do to make sure I survive? How would I tell my son? And how would I tell my mother? I felt as though the world had stopped. But the funny thing was, the world hadn't stopped. It just kept moving along as if nothing had changed. But something had changed for me. I had cancer. It was that September that I knew perseverance would undoubtedly become my motto. 2 months later, in November 2011, I had surgery to remove the cancer. What I didn't realize at the time was that despite the scars left behind and the emotional trauma, the surgery would be the easy part. In January 2012, I began 8 rounds of chemo over 16 weeks, and because I was HER2 positive, I also required an additional 22 treatments of Herceptin. Chemo was everything I feared it would be. Nauseating, exhausting, appearance-altering, and time-consuming. The encouragement and support I received from my amazing family and friends propelled me through with love and humor. My husband stood by my side at every appointment. My nephew shaved his head to match my own. My niece wrote her school speech about breast cancer and the impact it has on families. My son collected his birthday money and bought me a heart on a chain to embolden me through my treatments. My mom became the chief cook on chemo weeks. My sister, brother-in-law, and 2 best friends shared the burden of treatment days. Cards and emails arrived at perfectly timed intervals to raise my spirits. This was the kind of encouragement that reminded me that I needed to dig my heels in and persevere. It was true I had cancer, but it was also true that the world didn't stop, and neither should I. I realized I could go on in spite of it all. When my treatments finally finished in February 2013, I rang the bell that symbolized my chemo journey was complete. There was no doubt our lives had changed forever. However, there is little to be gained by dwelling on the bad things that happen. And I believe that if I use those negative things to do something helpful, then maybe I could make a positive difference. I craved optimism and wanted to be part of an event focused on the future. And so it was 5 months following chemo and 5 months shy of finishing Herceptin that I ran my first Run for the Cure. It was then that I realized the best way to feel less helpless was simply to help.
In Gaelic, my name Kelly means warrior. And so it was that I felt that I had maybe become, and I decided to start my team of Kelly's Frontrunners to raise money for a foundation
that has benefited many people like me. In fact, I'm here to tell my story this morning as a survivor because of people who have run in the past. And so for my 4th year in a row, along with my amazing team of Kelly's Frontrunners, today I hope to pay it forward. I would like
to thank the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation for inviting me to tell my story. In essence, I encourage women to be screened at an early age. Be your own health advocate. And if you should be diagnosed with the unthinkable diagnosis of cancer, become a warrior, persevere, and know that there is a whole community of survivors that do not wish this upon you, but will knowingly and empathetically embrace and support you on your journey. And remember, when the world says give up, hope says try one more time. Thank you very much.